Hi, my name is Aaron Marcus, and in this video I am going to teach you how to market yourself and get acting and modeling work on your own. Now, even if you already have an agent, I still highly recommend that you market yourself. And I'm not trying to take any work away from agents, because if you have an agent, whether you have an exclusive contract or even if you don't, I still recommend sending any job that you book on your own through your agent for a couple of reasons. It is true that you might be spending, 20% of whatever you earn with the agent. And sometimes people say, well, I booked this job on my own. I did all the work. Why should I pay my agent a percentage? Well, let me tell you why it's still in your best interest to do that. Number one, your agent's going to know most likely better than you how much you should be getting paid for this job. So if you follow my instructions and you book a job on your own, and let's say it's a modeling job and you're going to be up on billboards throughout your state, even if you know what your normal hourly fee should be, you might not know how much you should be getting for something called a high exposure format, things like billboards and posters, ads on the sides of buses and things like that. So you probably will make more money just simply because you sent it through the agent, and it's a good investment. The other thing too is agents like people who work. And when you book a job and the agent is making money through your work, they're going to submit you more, they're going to push for you more. So the agent will put you into a very different category. You will be somebody that is making them money. So it's always in your best interest to send jobs through your agent that you book on your own. And also, they can also help make sure that it's a legitimate job. Okay, so let me show you some ways where you can actually get bookings on your own. So what a lot of people don't realize is that at advertising agencies, quite often the art and or the creative director at the ad agencies are the people who make the final decisions who gets booked for the modeling job or for the TV commercial or the radio spot. Not always. I mean, sometimes it can be the client, the person who owns the company, who makes the decision. Sometimes if it's a modeling job, it could be the photographer. But sometimes it's a joint discussion, amongst everybody. But sometimes it is the art or creative director. So what you want to do is, assuming that you've got a great, headshot and resume, as well as a composite sheet. And if you're just doing modeling, then you just need a composite sheet. You're going to send that along with a really good cover letter to the art and or the creative director at advertising agencies in your area. So how do you go about finding them? Well, there's an association for advertising agencies, and it's AAAA.org, and you can see it right here in the PowerPoint. And what you're going to do is find out who the art and creative directors are, send them your information, and hopefully they will think of you for their next project. Maybe they're in the middle of a project right now, and all of a sudden, your picture comes across their desk, and they go, "Wow, that's who we're looking for." Or maybe they will remember you for future projects. There's also another association, American Ad Agencies, and here's their address. And for those of you who are in Canada, here's another a listing of advertising agencies that you can try to contact. There are many other ways of finding advertising agencies. You can go to the Chamber of Commerce in your particular area and find out if they have a listing of advertising agencies. You can do a Google search as well. So there are many different ways of finding ad agencies, but sending your information to the art and creative directors there is always a good idea. Here are some websites that you can go to get information about actual jobs. One is Mandy.com. Also on my website, howtomodel.com, if I hear about an audition or a job, I share it with others, and I just list it on the website. I don't have an opportunity to keep it as updated as I would like, but when I do, hear about jobs, I do like to share it with other people. Now, here's another way of doing it, but I'm throwing out a disclaimer here. You've got to be very, very, very careful. But I've spoken with people who've had real success going to Craigslist. And what you can do is find out where in your area they have, it's called the gigs list. And so you just put in your information, and under gigs, you will see projects. It could be modeling jobs, could be acting jobs, could be voiceover jobs. But once again, and I can't state this clearly enough, you've got to be very careful because you don't know who these people are. If it's a modeling job, make sure you check out the photographer's website. If there is no website for the photographer, I wouldn't even consider it. And if it's a TV commercial, check out the advertising agency, see if you can get as much information as possible. And I'm not trying to scare people off from this, but anything that, it's outside a studio or even in a studio, bring somebody with you. Make sure people know where you are, contact information, what time you should be working. And once again, you just have to be really, really careful in today's time period. But I do know people who've had real success using Craigslist. Here are some other places, some other websites where jobs are posted. Some of these are free, some of these are not free, but you can check them all out. I can tell you, especially like on the Facebook page, there is no cost to that. For the Meetup page, there's no cost to that, and that's a great way to also just market yourself and make contacts with other actors and models. But anyhow, you can check all of them out. Some of them charge a nominal fee for an ad, like for instance with 800 Casting, and maybe I shouldn't give out numbers now because they might change, but as of today I think it's about $39 for the year. And you will, fill out information, and you will be sent information about jobs in your area, Actors Access. You can do it. You can actually sign up free, but then every time you submit yourself for a job, you have to pay for that, or you can pay a certain fee annually, and then you can submit yourself as many times as you want. Dragonette Connects. Also, it's about $40 a year, and there's a lot of information there. So anyhow, check them out, and these are good places to find out about jobs happening in your area. There are also listservs. These are free. You want to get on their list, and it's incredible how much information you will be able to get on a regular basis. I only threw a few of them out here very quickly. You can find listservs in your area as well. Just do some searches and get on the list, and you'll be surprised as to how much information you'll be able to get about auditions, go-sees, which is the audition for models, and actual jobs. The thing is, sometimes people think, well, I don't live in New York, I don't live in LA, I don't live in Miami, I don't live in a major market. There's probably not much work here for me. Let me just tell you, I work in many, many different markets, including New York. I've worked in Chicago, worked in Boston, and some pretty big places. Some of the best jobs I've ever had came from small markets. Just because it's not a major market doesn't mean that the photographer isn't incredible, doesn't mean the advertising agency people aren't incredibly creative. Maybe if it's a independent film, actually you can even try some of the local colleges and see if some of the film classes, if the students have to actually shoot films for the class, they're going to need actors. And certainly read the script over, make sure you're comfortable with it. But that might be a great opportunity to get some work. It might not be paid work. Matter of fact, chances are you're not going to get paid anything for it. But what a great experience. And also it's a great way to build up your resume, build up your acting reel. You'll take a very short clip from the film and start, putting these things together, which you can show to agents, producers, directors, and other industry professionals. If you want to market yourself to photographers, there's a really good organization. It's called ASMP.org, American Society of Media Photographers. The last time I checked, there were over 5,000 members, and you'll find them throughout the world. What you can do is find out if there are any members in your particular area, and if so, see what kind of photography they do. Some do architectural photography. Some do year-end reports. These aren't people you really want to contact. Find out who does commercial photography. Maybe even some of the assistant photographers would be really good people for you to contact. And maybe they're looking to hire, some models for some promotional work for themselves to get more experience. And maybe you can even trade off your services just to get an opportunity to get copies of the work and also to make some really good connections with photographers. So anyhow, those are some of the things that I would be doing to market myself. Those are some of the things that I do to market myself. And it's allowed me to continue to work as a full-time actor and a commercial model for almost 30 years now. And so if you have any questions whatsoever, you can see how I can be reached. I love sharing information. I love building communities of like-minded people, people who, also like helping others in the industry. And I just find that when you surround yourself with people who like helping other people, it's just a great way to run your business. It's a great way to spend your days. And so really feel free to let me know if you have any questions, if I can be of any help to you at all. I'm Aaron Marcus, and I'll be talking to you real soon.